Okay, so today we're going to learn about a couple of different techniques for shading. The first one that we're going to talk about is hatching. One of the important things to remember when you are doing any sort of value addition to a pencil drawing, or you could use these techniques with colored pencils and oil pastels and chalk pastels as well if you'd like. You want to have a range of tones going from the darkest dark to the lightest light. That's what's going to make your piece look realistic. So when you are using the technique hatching, the first thing you want to think about is where your light source is going to be. So let's say that I have a simple rectangle and my light source is going to be here. Then everything that is going to be white or very light is going to be on this side, and everything that's going to be dark is going to be on this side, and then there will be a what we call a cast shadow, and the cast shadow will come from underneath the piece. So in order to hatch, you want to start with a series of diagonal lines, and you just want to keep your hand really loose. If it's not really loose, it's going to be too structured and it's going to look funny. And you just want to go ahead and add in your light tones. And the reason we start with light tones is because you can always add more to a piece, but it's very difficult to take it away. So the way that you get a change in value is you just add more lines. So all I have to do to make this look darker is add more of those diagonal lines, and that tone is going to come across as darker than this tone over here. So I'm going to keep doing that, and I'm going to pay attention to my light source, and then really get in there in the darkest darks and add a lot of dark tones. Now it's important, you want to try to keep a loose wrist. I'm really bad about that, so you don't want to just draw with your hand, you want to kind of sketch like this. And then what you're going to begin to see is you're going to see a transition from a darker area to a lighter area. And you can go back in and add more to make the transition look more severe. And the more tones that you add, the more realistic that your piece is going to look. So now that I've done that, this is not finished. I would add more value change, but now that I've given you an example, what we want to do is go ahead and add in our cast shadow. If you would like to hatch your cast shadow, you can. I like to blend my cast shadow, so I'm just going to go ahead and come across, because hypothetically this rectangle would be sitting on a table and the darkest dark would be there, and then you just lighten up as you go out. Now some people like to use their fingers to blend, but there are oils in your finger that can affect the way it looks, so you're welcome to use a blending stump if you would like to blend more effectively, and it'll give you a nice smooth blend there. But you don't want to use a blending stump when you're hatching, because you want to see those defined lines. So a simple rectangle for hatching.